All right, shalom, shalom. I'm the brother of War, and I'm from the GMS Atlanta camp. And today I'm doing a Godspeed. And as we see, prophecies are coming to pass on a very high level, higher than we've seen ever in our existence, in these lifetimes that we're living right now. And when it comes to the Israelite woman, she has been taught her whole life that she doesn't need a man. She has been taught that she is the strong and independent. That she is good all by herself. That she can do bad all by herself. But hell is coming, hell is coming for her. Her specifically, because she is the weaker vessel. The men are going to go through it as well, but she is the weaker vessel, so it's going to hit her much harder. She's going to break down much faster, So I'm going to go into the man being, because the men of the Lord, which is the chosen number of the children of Israel, the 144,000, right along with the 1/3 that's going to follow, being mainly women and children, being these women that, are going to get right. They're going to come to these men that the Lord is building up, but that the Lord is truly about to reveal for who they are, which is fine gold. So this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, verse 12. It reads, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. And that is a very, very pure and very rare, form of gold. You can't just find a golden wedge of Ophir, and the Lord said, I will make a man more precious. So the purity, the value, the rarity is going to exceed that of Ophir, So those men, which this is speaking about, are the men of the Lord that are preaching the 100% truth, that are actually, speaking the entire Bible and not saying, I believe this part, but this part I don't agree with. They are 100% in agreement with the scriptures, because the scriptures are ultimately who you call Jesus Christ in the world, in the form of a book. So if you disagree with anything in the scriptures, you're disagreeing with a part of what so-called Jesus Christ, which his true name is Yahweh Shai, what he said, you're disagreeing with him. It says in Psalms, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 91:1. This is the reason, one of the reasons, because ultimately the main reason why those men are going to be that valuable and why they already are, but why the Lord is going to manifest that fully, is because they were chosen. But them being chosen, they're going to perform works, they're going to do certain things, that's going to show the lot that they were chosen to be in. So this is the book of Psalms, chapter 91 and verse 1, and it reads, He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. So that is what those men are doing. They're dwelling in the secret place, which is this truth. Having the 100% understanding of the scriptures and being able to break it down, being able to understand the prophecies and see them in real life and actually understand what's happening without even having to go to the scriptures. You could just see what's going on the news, and scriptures pop up in your mind, and it's like, oh yeah, this is this coming to pass. You could do a lesson on it, and ultimately it just boosts your faith up, because we're seeing what the Lord promised coming to pass. So those men that are dwelling in the secret place of the Most High, which is staying within this truth, continuing to pray, fast, speaking to myself firstly, fellowship, doing all of these spiritual sacrifices, performing these spiritual sacrifices that the Lord told us to perform, up until the end. Those men, that's them dwelling in the secret place. So it says in verse 2, And I will say of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, He is my refuge and my fortress, my power, in Him will I trust. Right, so He is my refuge and my fortress. Refuge is something that keeps you safe, You run to refuge, and it keeps you safe. And the same thing with fortress, they go hand in hand, so the Lord is our safety. He is our shelter in the storm. And these women, they're going to see that. It says in verse 3, Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler, so from the trap of the trapper. The so-called white man, he has a lot of traps around here. These troops, that's a trap. They're going to be coming, beating down doors, snatching people out. That's a trap set by the trapper. These things, the elect men, we are going to be delivered from, you know, if we be that number. So the women, they are going to see these things, and they're going to desire that same deliverance, you know. It says, jumping to verse 7, 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. So it's not going to come near you. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold the reward of the wicked, because the wicked, the majority of our people, they are going to be getting the reward for not believing, for saying I believe in this part, but I don't believe in this part of the scriptures, for believing in saying I believe in the scriptures, but I don't believe that the Heavenly Father's name is Yahweh and his son's name is Yahweh Shai. They are going to get their reward for their unbelief. And the women are going to see them getting destroyed, and the men of the Lord shining even brighter than they are right now. So they're going to run, they're going to flock to the men of the Lord. Verse 8, only with thine eyes shalt thou behold the reward of the wicked. Verse 9, because thou hast made the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. It's continuing to dwell within the presence of the Lord, within the truth, you know, staying with the brotherhood, being loyal to the Heavenly Father through being loyal to his servants, being loyal to the doctrine, you know, not taking the bag and polluting it. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. So the men of the Lord are going to be completely preserved. They will be tried, they will be tested, they will go through certain things, but they're going to be delivered from it all. And the women are going to see that, and they're going to desire that same protection, you know. And only a small few of them is going to even be able to come in, you know, and get under the men of the Lord, you know, and be protected. But, you know, that was the point of this lesson. I hope I was able to edify you brothers and sisters. And until next time, shalom.